Yeah, they're not gonna, they can't build. Back to.
Is the applicant for DPD 2501 here by chance? Sure. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Development and Environmental Review Committee. The date is May 28th, 2025, and it's approximately 10 a.m. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving on to roll call. My name is Mike Rosales with the Planning Division.
So Guerrero, Public Works Land Development Division.
Senator Rios, engineering. Victor Rodriguez, Salina Water Department.
James Blaine, City Attorney, Municipal Water Department, Environmental Control.
George Velarde, planning.
Angeline Mendoza, planning.
Chantel Choice, Planning Division.
Jerry Orlano, building and safety division.
Idle integrity waste.
Variety Bar, County Fire.
All right, thank you, everybody. We're going to start off with public comments for items listed and not listed on the agenda. Was there anybody in the audience that had anything to speak on that is not on the agenda today? Any comments? Ed, anything on your mind?
No, not.
All right. Moving on to the consent agenda. There will be no separate discussion of consent calendar items unless a committee member requests that item be considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item number one on the consent agenda would be approval of the draft minutes, and our recommendation today is to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 23rd, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No denies? Motion passes. Thank you. All right, we will be moving on to the public hearing items. Item number 2, Chantal, could we have the item, please?
Yes, item number 2 is conditional use permit 25-05, a request to allow the conversion of an existing Motel 6 into a recuperative care facility on a parcel containing approximately 1.79 acres. The project site is located at 1960 Osmonds Way within the Commercial General 1 zone. The environmental determination, the project is exempt pursuant to section 15301 existing facilities. Staff recommends today that the Development and Environmental Review Committee move this item forward to Planning Commission for consideration.
All right, thank you, Chantal. Was the applicant here?
The applicant is not.
Yes, you'll be taking any. Okay.
I still need, we kicked it back. There's still a lot of information we need before we approve it.
Okay, so you didn't get what you needed for that. So we can move it forward based off of the recommendation and just have them get their conditions before we actually move it to planning commission for a certain date.
Okay.
So it'll just be under
All the fire and life safety stuff that was not submitted correctly.
Okay.
Okay, so the recommendation is that staff moves this item to a planning commission for a future consideration.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No denies? Motion passes. Moving on, item number 3 today is development permit type D 25-01. It's a request to allow the development and establishment of a new 1-story public safety building containing approximately 16,000 square feet, along with the construction of the offsite and onsite improvements on a property comprised of 1.55 acres. It's located at 701 North East Street within the commercial regional zone. We are looking at it as categorically exempt pursuant to 15332 for infill development projects. Our recommendation today is that staff recommends that the Development and Environmental Review Committee adopt resolution number 2025-026, approving development permit type D 25-01 based on the findings of fact and subject to the recommended conditions of approval, and finding the project is subject to a categorical exemption under CEQA. And the applicant is here. Did you have any questions for us or concerns? Do you accept all the conditions that we provided?
On my behalf, you still need to resubmit there was some resubmittal comments that were required.
So within the resolution, we just put the general comment, condition that all the conditions set forth by the fire permit number shall be
Okay.
followed. So is that fine?
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. Just before we
All right.
get it back to us.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody else have any comments, condition or something? All right, so with that, the recommendation is to adopt the resolution. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, nice. Motion passes. Thank you, sir. If you want to hang out, we can converse afterwards. All right, we're moving on to item number 4 today. George, can we have the project, please, sir?
Yes, thank you, Mike. Good morning, everybody. Item number 4, there are several applications attached to this project. I'll just go through these very briefly here. First off, we have general plan amendment 24-01. This is to change the general plan land use designation from commercial to multiple family residential. We also have the zoning map amendment, which updates and changes the zoning district from commercial to residential medium. We also have tentative tract map number 20695, which takes 14 parcels of approximately 15.71 acres and creates essentially 138 new lots. These range in size from about 2,400 square feet to 4,000 square feet. We also have development permit type P 24-04, which is for site and architectural review of 138 single family homes. This is part of a planned unit development, or PUD for short. These lots or these units range in size from about 2,300 square feet to about 3,000 square feet. This does include centralized amenities. It's part of a gated HOA community. So that's a kind of a brief project description. As far as location, this is on the north side of Hill Boulevard. To our west, we have Dallas Avenue. To the east, we have Macy Street. Currently, as mentioned, the zone is commercial general 1, which we are updating. Our environmental determination, this is a mitigated negative declaration. We've done completed our public review, so that's been vetted. We do have a final environmental document that's ready to go. And as far as the recommendation, this is slotted to go to Planning Commission. So the request is to move this item to the next hearing, which is June 10th.
All right, thank you, George. And the applicants are here. Do you have any questions for the?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come up.
Morning, my name is Bobby Nasir. I'm the owner and developer for the 16 acres on Foothill Boulevard. Thank you for your time today and pushing this forward. I want to thank Councilman Mario and Helen for helping with this. And just a couple items here that I wanted to address. There were under Public Works, is it Roman numeral 14? We discussed Foothill Boulevard is currently in process of being redone by Caltrans. It's Route 66, and I think Route 66 will eventually be relinquished to the city of San Bernardino. So we had a meeting with Azam and Lynn a few months ago to discuss. Caltrans can't tell us exactly when they're going to be doing their work on Foothill Boulevard. So, and they're going to be, it would not make sense for us to do the improvements on Foothill Boulevard because no matter what we do, they're going to come in and pull out our improvements. So what we discussed were two items. The first one was for the applicant for us to pay an in lieu fee for undergrounding the power lines. At that meeting, it was discussed that the in lieu fee would be $200,000 payment to the city. We found this on this conditions that we just received. We saw the amount is $485,000. So wanted to bring that up with engineering and public works because we believe that's a mistake. Also, the other item discussed that Lynn required was for the applicant, if the improvements were not done before the first stage of the housing process is complete, the applicant would post a bond for $500,000 to make sure that if for any reasons Caltrans canceled the project, that the city could pull upon the bond to complete the street improvements on Foothill Boulevard. So we were okay with that. That actually was not reflected also in these conditions. It was reflected that if Caltrans doesn't have it done by the time the homes are done, that the applicant would have to do it. So obviously that doesn't make sense because we would do it, then Caltrans would pull it out and do it again. So I wanted to make sure on these two items, we could go back to what was discussed and agreed upon in our meeting here at the city.
I can look into that with Susan. I don't think I was part of the meeting.
It was just Azam and Lynn.
Oh,
Yeah, I was hoping either Azam or Lynn would be here to concur, but
I can look into that and then revise the conditions.
that would be great. The one other item, we are currently working with Century Communities to build these homes they have built in the city of San Bernardino before and are very familiar. One question they did pose, and can come up if there's any other ones, is to make sure that the improvements on Caltrans, on Foothill Boulevard by Caltrans would not hold up any certificates of occupancies for homeowners or otherwise, because we don't know if Caltrans is going to do this work in 2026 or 2029. And we want to get these homes delivered to the city as soon as possible.
So I can speak to that.
Okay.
With regard to issuing the certificate of occupancy, as long as the residents, as long as they have safe access to their units and, and not in any kind of danger of going through or going over the potential work from Caltrans, there shouldn't be an issue with certificates of occupancy. The only thing that would possibly maybe delay the certificate of the issuance is at least with regard to the building division, is any potential life safety concerns.
Yeah, that's our, actually, what we ended up doing from the beginning of this project is we moved our perimeter wall on Foothill Boulevard. As you can see on that diagram, we pushed it north to stay completely out of the Caltrans right of way. So any work they're doing would be south of that perimeter wall and the home, so you can see that there's no life and safety issues, or otherwise it would be outside of that on the roadway. It's just that the, regular conditions that you may require curb and gutter on Foothill may not be complete depending on Caltrans, because they're going to be doing that work. But everything on the inside of the wall will be complete. I think, is that correct, Kathleen? Right. Okay, so I think that answers. Do you have anything else if you want to come up? Kathleen represents Century Communities.
So just to also expound on that, the building division issues the certificate of occupancy, but all other city divisions and departments also support or possibly have render conditions in issuing the certificate of occupancy. So despite possible all green lights with the building division, there may be other concerns from other departments that may delay us in issuing the CFO.
I think the only one I can think of here at this point is Public Works or Engineering, which would be the work that we're talking about, which is why Lynn requested a bond to satisfy that, to know that in case Caltrans does not complete the improvements, that the city could pull on that bond to make sure they're completed, which is, sidewalk, curb and gutter front.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a comment. What happened to the pickleball courts?
You
Well,
think
let's right next to them.
Actually, George, that's a good question. She just answered it. They have had them in the past, and the noise has bothered the resident from the pickleball.
They also require really high walls that can be an eyesore.
Horrible. That's not gonna make a lot of noise.
All right. Did anybody else have any comments or concerns? Anybody else from the audience? All right, so with that, our recommendation today is that the DRC move this item forward to the PC for June 10th. All right, do I have a motion?
A motion to move forward.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any denies? No? All right, motion passes. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Mike.
You're very welcome. Moving on to item number 5 today, Angeline.
Yes, item number 5 is a two-part request, starting with subdivision 24-07 under tentative parcel map number 20925. to allow the subdivision of a parcel containing approximately 1.10 acres into two parcels containing approximately 0.54 acres on parcel 1 and approximately 0.56 acres on parcel 2. Conditional use permit 23-08 is a request to allow the development, establishment, and operation of two restaurants that are drive-thrus. Staff would like to read into the record that the end building footprint of 2,500 square foot for building A and 2,400 square foot for building B will be reflected on the final materials for planning commission. The project is located on the northeast corner of West Baseline Street and North Pennsylvania Street, located on a parcel within the CG1 or Commercial General Zone. Staff finds that the project is categorically exempt pursuant to section 15315 for minor land divisions for the subdivision and section 15303 new construction or conversion of small structures for the actual restaurants themselves. Staff recommends that the DERC committee move this item forward to PC for June.
Was the applicant here today? Hello, sir, how are you? Good, good. Did you have any questions for the DRC, concerns?
No, we're good.
Okay. Very nice. Anybody else have any questions, concerns? No? All right, so with that, we're recommending that the DRC move this item forward to planning commission for the June 10th meeting. Do I have a motion?
Move to move forward.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No denies? All right, motion passes. Thank you, sir. We'll see you June 10th. All right, and with that, we're gonna go ahead and adjourn. The next regular meeting of the Development and Environmental Review Committee will be held on Wednesday, June 11th, 2025 at 10 a.m. here in this exact same room. Thank you, everybody.